Christina, I want to start by saying I've spent my whole life searching for people that I can trust. Not the kind of trust that you can share secrets with, but the kind of trust I can share my soul with. I'd always known there was a connection between us that was inexplicable, and I was afraid and unsure of what exploring that path could be. I think you felt the same way too. When we truly began our story in Hawaii, I didn't feel like I was spending time with a girlfriend. I felt like I was spending time with my best friend. That's who you quickly became.
So Anthony and I, we were a part of the same organization and we had the same mutual friends, which was really cool. And it's funny because I would always gravitate towards him. We always defined ourselves as just friends, but we always flirted and we were just in denial with liking each other. And we actually lived across the street from each other at ECU on Elm Street, and so I would go and mosey over to the guy's house and hang out with Anthony, and he would come and hang out with me at my house. And after I graduated, Anthony did a really good job with keeping in touch with me.
Christina and I first met at ECU. We were a part of a group called Young Life, and We'd stayed friends, and I was always attracted to her personality. She's obviously a beautiful woman, but I don't think that I was ready yet for something serious.
Anthony, after college, about 3 years after college, invited me to go on a trip to Hawaii with all of our college friends and our mutual friends. So 2 weeks later, I went. It was just kind of one of those things where I was just like, hey, I'm gonna go. And I hadn't seen Anthony in about 2 years, but like I said, we always stayed in touch and always had it kind of a thing for him. And I feel like we had both grown up. So I just wanted to go on a trip to Hawaii too.
We just stayed friends throughout college and always kept up. And once college was through, I had the chance to go to Hawaii, and I invited her on a trip to go with me. And we're gonna go see some friends and have a great time and explore, and I thought she'd be a really great person to take with me. And throughout that process, it was very easy to be around her. It was very easy to be with her, and she made everything better. Whether that was going out, whether it was eating dinner, or just sitting in a living room with nothing to do, everything was better when I was with her.
Anthony, you and I both know how indecisive I can be at times. I simply don't like to make decisions. But if there's one decision in my life that I know is the right one, it's to spend the rest of my life with you. There's an infinite number of things I love about you. I love your thoughtfulness and your ability to keep me grounded. I love your loyalty to me and our goofy, always laughing relationship. I love the way that you get excited about going to multiple grocery stores in one day to hunt down the best meat deals. And I love how you cannot multitask to save your life. But despite that, you have taught me to not take life so seriously nor seek the approval of others. You have helped me face my biggest fears and have walked in the darkest places of my mind with me.
And so when we were there, we both realized how much each other has grown up and how perfect we were together. And it's crazy because I had this defining moment in Hawaii where Anthony was cooking in the kitchen. He always served my food first. He always put it on a plate and would give the food to me. And he was cooking and dancing in the kitchen. And I had just woken up because the jet lag was getting to me from Hawaii. And he handed me a plate while dancing. And like I said, there was a defined moment where I was like, oh my goodness, this is everything that I've ever wanted in a human being. And he has been right in front of me the whole time. And I had no clue. I'd been looking everywhere else, but right in front of me.
I didn't realize that something serious would come out of it. And none of that happened until I dropped her off at the airport. And when I dropped her off at the airport, it felt like I'd been hit in the chest, and I didn't expect it. It was all unexpected, honestly, even the trip itself. But sometimes things work out for a reason. So after Hawaii, I continued and decided to pursue her. We were doing long distance. I was living in South Florida. She was living in North Carolina. I would fly up every couple of weeks, spend time with her and see her life and see if it was something that I could adapt to, because she was someone that was really special to me.
We do an annual trip on May 30th every year, around Anthony's birthday, May 28th, every year to Gatlinburg. And so I had absolutely no clue that Anthony was going to propose, and he had our two best friends, Del and Jen, to kind of set everything up. We went to Anakista in Gatlinburg, and we were on the side of a mountain, and Anthony asked me to dance with him. And I didn't think it was unusual because he normally twirls me around or does something romantic. He's just the romantic type. And he spun me around and then got on one knee, and in that moment everything froze. And thankfully we had Jen and Del taking pictures and videos. And it's so funny because he was so worried that I wouldn't like the ring, that when he got on one knee, instead of actually proposing, he opened up the ring box and said, "Is this good enough?"
So after a few months of dating long distance, we started the process of living together. We got an apartment in Charlotte, and those were some of the best memories that I've had. Everything that I thought could happen well was happening well, and then something not so great happened, and my father actually passed away. And that was a really big test for me, because everything that was so bright in my life, everything that was going well, turned dark really quickly, and her energy and her personality made life worth living every day. And I think it took her helping me through that process for me to actually realize that she is someone that I can genuinely spend my life with. If things are great when they're great, that's easy. It's when things can be great when things get hard is what makes everything fall into place as it should, and I recognize that. And at that point, that's when I was ready to commit myself to her and pray to God she was going to do the same. You have the ability to make me laugh, make little routine moments into some of life's greatest memories. You have the energy to light up a city, and your heart is big enough to love every inch it touches. But who you are in the good times is not what gave me the confidence to marry you. It was who you were in the bad. When my father passed, I was truly vulnerable for the first time in my life. I wasn't deflecting my feelings with sarcasm or jokes anymore. I was truly broken. That is when your light shines its brightest. When nothing seems to be right, you make the world a better place. You were strong when I had nothing left to give, and that is what I vow to you today. I vow to be your support and light when there seems to be nothing but darkness. I vow to preserve and protect the light that you shine so bright with. I vow to feed your spirit with my canny jokes and act of kindness. I vow to constantly chase the desires of your heart with an open mind. Finally, I vow to spend the rest of my life growing and bettering myself to deserve your company. These are my vows to you on this day and forever and always, if you will have me.
And so I had to actually say, "Are you going to ask me?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, no, yes. Will you marry me?" And so I thought that was really cute that he just wanted to impress me that much in the moment. And I mean, it was everything and more. The scenery was beautiful. People cheered after we got engaged, and it was just very surreal.
So we dated for a couple years, lived together, and the time came where it was time for me to propose. And I knew she'd want to get, engaged somewhere remote with not a lot of people around, and I took advantage of that in the mountains of Tennessee. We went to Gatlinburg, had a great weekend, and I proposed, and I'm just grateful she said yes, to be honest with you. And since then, it's been phenomenal. It's been nothing short of just positive living. She's had the rough patch that she went through, and I had the privilege and honor of going through that with her, just like she was with me when her mother passed. And that's truly what I was looking for in a relationship, is when all else is failing, do you have a partner that's going to bring you up and make your life worth living? And that is what I'm grateful for, and that is who I have today, that I'm marrying. And I could never ask for anything more.
Wow, from day one, I think he has the most generous heart I've ever met in a human being. And his heart is so pure, and he's so loving. He makes me feel safe, and he accepts me for who I am, and he encourages me in ways that I need to be encouraged, and Anthony comforts me the ways that I need to be comforted, and he just really compliments who I am. He's my big teddy bear, and I love I can't wait for the rest of our life for me just to hug him and for him to wrap his big arms around me in my safe place. And he's so witty. He's incredibly funny. We're always laughing, always. Everything is a joke. Everything is just, we have so much fun with each other. He makes me a way better human being. The way that he speaks to me and challenges me to be better is perfect because I can be incredibly stubborn.
Some things that I love about Christina: it doesn't matter where you are or what time of day you're at it, you know Christina Brookridgen is there. She has so much energy and so much light and so much positivity. She sees the good in everything, and when everything's on the line, she shows up and delivers, and she is my best friend in the whole world. Anything I do isn't enjoyable without her. I love how she loves. I love how caring she is. I love how optimistic that she can be. Obviously, she's gorgeous.
But despite your crazy antics, I promise to support you, to honor you, and to love you unconditionally. Even when we may disagree on something, I promise to give you all of my words when needed, and to share in the silence when they are not, to pick you up if you are down, to care for you when you're basically dying of the man cold, to adventure with you always, and to say I love you and give you back kisses before falling asleep each night. And to always know in the deepest parts of my soul that when challenges arise, we will stand strong hand in hand together as we've done for these last 4 years. As I've heard, the best love is the kind that awakens the soul and makes us reach for more. That plants a fire in our hearts and brings peace to our minds. And that's what you've given me, Anthony. In your blue eyes, I found my home. In your heart, I found my love. And in your soul, I found my mate. So to end this, I want to say, I can't wait to laugh at you for the rest of my life. I love you fiercely, and fly, eagles, fly.
But in the future, I'm really excited to have babies and to just be a unit, to be one as a family, me and him against the world, ride or die. Him and I have gone through so much already together with people passing in our life, and we have been each other's rocks, and I'm so excited for us to finally be one so that we can just take on the world. And I'm so excited to marry that man because he is very hot. He's got great shoulders. I love his blue eyes, and he's just everything I could ever want in a human being.
I'm about to get married here in a few minutes, and anything that's been stressful this whole day has had nothing to do with me getting married to Christina. And I am incredibly honored and grateful to be marrying the coolest girl that has ever lived. And as far as the future goes, we're both working on our careers together. We're about to go to Italy for the honeymoon. We're gonna have a great time. I know that everywhere we go, she's gonna be dancing inside and making all sorts of weird noises in every restaurant we go in. So I'm very excited for our future.